We're going to start standing up. We're going to do a little warm up to start with, to get us moving, get us in the mood, okay? And then we're going to go into the exercises, all right? So, starting at the beginning, we're going to pinch that ball between the knees. We're going to tuck the tailbone under just gently and draw the belly button back so we have a neutral pelvis there. Then we're just going to let those arms hang down by our side, and I want you to squeeze the ball with your legs. So we're squeezing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and hold. I want you to try and keep holding. You can gently feel the inner thighs squeezing, the pelvic floor is lifting. Let's take a deep breath in and out. Other way, breathing in and out. And again, breathing in and out. And the other way, breathing in and out. Good. Release the ball and squeeze again for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold. Lengthen the arms out to the side. Small twist to the right. Keep squeezing that ball as you move to the left. And again, still squeezing round to the right and around to the left. Feel that pelvic floor lifting there. Come back to the center and arms down and release. And again, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold. Chin to the chest. We're going to arch over, still squeezing that ball. We're not going to go all the way. And then we're going to come back up and stand up tall. So it's more the upper half of the body, the back that is arching. So rolling down, hands down the side of the ball. They go about halfway, maybe just over. And then roll back up. So your head is aiming for the center of the ball. Right on top there. Let's do that again. Still squeezing that ball. And back up. Good. And release. Okay, we're going to pick that ball up now. We're going to take it into our hands. And we're going to lift the ball up and down. And lift the ball up and down. So start to focus on your posture, making sure the shoulders are back and down as you lift and lift and lift. Good. Take it up above the right shoulder, frame your head, take it across and up, 1 and across, up, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Other side. Head is framed. 1 and 2. Belly button gently back. 3, 4, and 5. Bring it to the center. Let's take the legs out wide. We're going to lunge over through the center to the other side. There's a lunge. And pick it up. And then the other way. Lunge and through the center. Now when you come through the center, you've got a flat back because you're hinging, okay? So we come over, hinge, stay connected, and up. And again, over. Then we hinge, nice flat back, and up. And across, through the center. Open the arms, the chest, and again, over. Use those knees as well. Lunge and up. and ball down. All right, give your arms a shake. If you want to have a drink before we head off, because who knows when I'm going to remember to tell you to have another one. So I'm just going to go through the first one again, just because that was one that was a little bit trickier, okay? So we did a squat and up. No, we're going to do two. One and hold, ball down in front of your knees. You're going to come over the top as gracefully as you can till you come forward. You're going to do, how many? 2 push-ups. And then you're going to walk it back, feet to the floor, take your knees out wide and come up, back to position for 2 more squats. Okay, Kate, got that? So we do that for a minute. Who knows how many we'll get in? I'm going to give you 15 seconds before we start. Okay, it's probably not the best camera for me to be on, but too bad. All right, 5 seconds and we're going to start. 2 squats, then over with 2 push-ups. Let's go. Down and down. Ball on the floor. Pinch it with your knees if you need to. Bring yourself forward. 2 push-ups. Keep everything supported and controlled. Belly button back. And up, toes forward for your squats. 1. Hold. Now take the feet out, knees out, come forward. Down for 2 push-ups. And walk it back. You got 30 seconds left. Come up, turn the feet in, down and hold. Take it out and over, down. 1 and 2. We're going back and we're standing. Let's do 1 more. And down, we're gonna sort of just fit it in. 2 push-ups, 1 and 2. Good, take yourself back. This is your rest moment. While you are resting, you're gonna come down onto your knees. And we're coming out into our plank. Holding it there, nice and strong. Now, if you want to, you can stay here. If you want to go harder, you can go here. Or you can do your mountain climber. Okay, it's up to you. You've got to hold it for a minute, unless, of course, it starts to hurt the back. Belly button, drawing back towards the spine. You've got 30 seconds remaining. My ball moved. What's going on? Okay, 15 seconds left. 10 seconds remaining. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And take both your knees down, child's pose, stretch it out. You've got 10 seconds now. So we're coming over the top of the ball, feet against the wall. And you're gonna come over the top of the ball now. Let's go. And we're gonna do our upper back lift. So, hands on the forehead as you lift. If you wanna go harder, arms up by the ears. Remember, we're not lifting too high. Don't want you to really arch that back. And try breathing out as you come up as well. 30 seconds remaining. Of course, if it starts to hurt your back, you can stop and have a rest. If you need to relax the shoulders, you can have your arms by your side. You got 15 seconds to go. And last one. Good, all right, take it into child's pose. Which camera am I on? Take it into child's pose for 15 seconds, which is probably not that long anymore. Okay, coming over the top now, right over, and we've got the legs. So bums on the ball, lengthen the legs, squeeze that bum, and lift those legs. So, if it's hurting your back at all, just have a rest every now and then, okay? Make sure your butt is being squeezed as you move. We're nearly there. That doesn't make sense. Oh no, 20 seconds left. You can always make it harder by doing your swimmer kick if you like, but you should be feeling those legs and butts working. Might not be necessary, especially if you've already done this 3 times this week. All right, let's stretch it back into child's pose. Relax those legs and relax your back. Okay, we're gonna come back over the top and we are doing our crisscross legs. If crisscross is too much, heel taps. Over we go, lengthen and we cross. And again, you can stop whenever you need to. If you want to have a rest in between, you can. Because you've got to keep those legs really long and really strong as you move, okay? And after a little while, you might find that you get a little bit mixed up and your legs start doing something completely different. Or is that just me? I don't know what my legs are doing. That butt should be really working and the back of the legs as well. Keep those legs long, don't let them collapse. 5 seconds left. Good, okay, once more, 15-second rest. Okay, so the next one was our side chest expansion. So that's when we come over the top of the ball, follow me. Okay. And we're going to turn and open and back down. And then the other side, open and back down. Keep the ball as controlled as you can underneath you. Open and open and open and open. Pull the shoulders back as you open. 20 seconds left. Belly button back. Hips on the ball. Nearly there. One more. Good, and just hang yourself over the ball. Take the ball to the side now. Come over the top. Belly button gently drawing back. If you want to lift your foot off the floor the whole time, you can. Otherwise, you're going to tap the foot to the floor. Squeezing in that waistline there. Make sure that that hip stacks back up on top again when you stretch out your leg. Okay, so we square ourselves up. Feel that butt working. Make sure you can feel that squeeze in that waistline as well. You got 10 seconds remaining. Nearly there. Good job. Okay. All right, we're coming over the top of the ball. We're pulling the knees in and then we're doing our pike tuck as well. 5 seconds to go. Okay, take yourself right over the top. Bring yourself out, ball underneath the knees preferably. Connect. So we pull the ball in and we extend, and if you want to add into it a pike, you can as well. Or you can just stick to this pulling. Up to you. But you do need to keep your shoulders over your wrists the whole time. Belly button drawing back. And you guys can breathe as well. Uh-oh. My phone's going into power save. I won't be able to see how long we've been at it. Keep on going while I tuck my stuff in. Because you got 15 seconds left to go. Because you can see mine and I can't see yours, so it doesn't matter about you. 5 seconds. And take it out. Okay, we're doing our side crunch on the other side now. So make sure your ball is on the opposite side to you. Come on over. 5 seconds to go. Hand to the ear. And off we go. Whoops, forgot the leg. Bring it in. Keep your breathing, keep connected. Squeeze that waistline. 30 seconds to go. $20 seconds remaining. How's that butt feeling? Can you feel it? 5 seconds. Good, okay. I want you to take child's pose with your knees out wide. Push the ball away from you and sink your chest and head down between your arms towards the floor. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Deep breath out through the mouth. And release. Sitting on your bottom. Pop the ball to the right of you. Take the right leg across. Pull it in and turn to the right. And release. Pop the ball on the left. Pull the knee in and turn to the left. So we released in through the hips. All right. So before we go on, if you want to have a drink, grab yourself a drink. We are going to be lying on our back now. So keep that in mind. $15 seconds. No, we're not. We're sitting on top of the ball. I apologize. So up you come, sitting on top of the ball. Okay. Let's walk ourselves out, head on top of the ball, feet underneath the knees. Let the arms just hang and hip drops. Squeeze and lift. Belly button is gently drawing back. You want to use your butt to help lift those hips. Keep going. I need to give my butt a rest. You got 15 seconds left. That went really quickly, I reckon. Five seconds remaining. Squeezing and lifting. Good, and sit back up on top of the ball. And do a few little hip circles to loosen yourself up. And we're gonna go and do some crunches next. So if you need to support your neck, then do so. Tuck your bum under, walk yourself out, and we're curling up. So the aim here is to get the bottom of the rib cage towards the hips. It's not about how high you can sit up, okay? It's a crunch, so you're just sort of squeezing in through the center. Keep breathing deeply in through the nose and out through the mouth. If your back starts to get sore, don't go back as far, and perhaps have a rest if you need one. 20 seconds left. Feel the tummy muscles warming up. 5 seconds remaining. Good, and sitting on top of the ball. All right, sit up as tall as you can, circle the hips a couple of times in each direction. So there's a lot of focus on the next one through the center, your lower back, your lower abs, and your butt. So coming forward, keep your butt on the ball, curl yourself up, and pelvic tilts. So really just focus on what the pelvis is doing here, lifting that pelvic floor. But I think my butt and hips had enough already this week. I'm not doing this one again this week, Terry. I did it this morning, last night, and now. Squeeze, 15 seconds. You can feel the tummy muscles working as well. 10 seconds left. Is this the one you didn't like, Kate? Back to the top. Sit up as tall as you can. Couple of circles in each direction. Good. Take your arms up above your head. Pelvic pistol grip and tilt back. Up to the top, arms down, tuck and walk out. And obliques up and over. Alternating sides so we don't have to count. And again, it's about getting the rib cage down towards the hips. Keep drawing back. Remember, if your back is getting sore, just have a rest for a moment. Good, we're nearly there. 10 seconds. And sitting up again. Good, again. Couple little circles, both directions. And then I want you to grab your weights. All right, are we ready? Pelvic tilt, let's walk out. And we're doing a chest press, so elbows out to the side. You can walk right out and squeeze your bum and lift it if you like, or you can keep your back on the ball. That's up to you. Up and down with the arms. If the neck starts to get tight, you might want to walk forward a little bit so that your head is resting on the ball a bit better. I really want you to tuck your head right back. Now we did start this one a little bit late this time, so I'm going to adjust the timing of everything and give you 15 seconds. 5 minutes left. Good, let's sit up. So the next one is our fly. Remember to keep your elbows bent. Closer the weights are to your chest, the easier that's going to be. Okay, let's go back out. Again, you can go all the way, especially if that neck's getting sore, get that butt off the ball instead. All right, tapping out. You can curl in, get those tummy muscles working harder. But you really need to think about your neck as well, and making sure we don't tighten that up too much. Now, if this does start to hurt the shoulder too much, you can pop those weights down and continue without, okay? You got 25 seconds left. Now a minute's a long time. 10 seconds. Ooh, squeeze. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and sitting up. Okay, the next one we do go all the way out with just the head sitting on the ball. You can use one weight or you can use two. It is up to you. Let's roll. Let's walk it out. Bring the hands up above your head, weights together. Slowly take the arms back as far as you can go. Keep your shoulders on the ball and triceps lift and lower. Lift and lower. Good. Now squeeze your bum. Make sure that you are switched on down there. Hips are lifted. I can't see the clock from here. I need a big one projecting onto the ceiling. Well, that's good. You got 10 seconds left. That doesn't sound right, does it? Slowly bring those weights down to the chest. Okay, now we've got one more, and that's for the bicep muscle here, okay? So we're going to come forward into a curl position, making sure we're pushing down into the floor. We're going to curl up and we're going to curl through the biceps. Now I'm leaving my elbows on the floor and not completely straightening my arms out. They're actually on the ball, not on the floor, because my arms aren't that long. Using the tummy muscles, keeping the chest open. Halfway. Seconds left. 5. Good, and up we go. All right, pop those weights down on the floor. Okay. Sitting up nice and tall on top of your ball. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out. Drop the chin down to the chest and roll down. Take a breath in. Breathe out, roll back up. Sit up nice and tall. Take your right arm out. Cross the body and gently pull it towards you. And release. And down, other arm out and across. And release. And down, arm up and drop that hand down to the neck. Gently pull that arm towards you. Good, and release. Other arm up, hand down, and pull it in. And release, and take it down. Lift the shoulders, and lower the shoulders. And once more, lift the shoulders, and lower the shoulders. And we might do that back stretch here. So we're gonna walk forward. Okay, now you can keep your knees bent. Connect, pull everything inwards. Drop the head back over the ball. You might be happy to stay there, or you can stretch those legs out, and that'll just add to the stretch because it'll open up the hips as well a little bit more. Your arms, just let them hang out to the side, palms facing upwards towards the ceiling. Start with the feet, bring the feet back in so the knees are bent. Make sure that your feet are underneath your knees, so really feel like they're pulled towards you. Bring the chin into the chest and start to roll yourself to sit up. Good, now you can have yourself a little drink, and we're gonna come down onto the floor and do some sit-ups and other things. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do are sit-ups. We're going to start in 15 seconds. So make sure you're at the end of your mat with the ball in your hands. You have 5 seconds remaining. Take the ball up and let's go. And up and sit up tall. Now you can keep your knees bent if you like, or you can straighten your legs up. That's completely up to you. Just try and make sure you roll that spine down onto the floor and then roll it back up off the floor as well. "30 seconds left. They don't have to be super fast. "15. 5 seconds left. I reckon we can do one more. Good. Pop the ball between the knees. This is your 15 seconds rest, where we're going to roll onto our back with the ball between the legs. And we're doing our ball taps. So if you want to tuck your hands under your bum, you can. Don't let go of that ball. Let's go. Tapping down. Every time those legs move away from you, breathe out deeply. Halfway now, 30 seconds left. You can feel the inner thighs working as you hold on to that ball. Make sure you keep breathing, don't let that back lift off the floor. 15 seconds remaining. And 5. Good, grab the ball in your hands. Relax your legs, give them a shake if you need to. We're passing the ball between the knees and the hands for the next one. You can curl up with it if you like, you don't have to. And if it gets too confusing, just hold the ball in your hands. Okay, squeeze the legs together, curling up. We're going back, and then the legs take the ball and back, bring it in and back, bring it in and back. Transfer the ball between the legs and the hands. Now they're back in the hands, back to the legs, back to the hands, back to the legs. 30 seconds left. 15 seconds left. Keep breathing. Keep drawing that belly button down. If the back's starting to lift, you might just want to hold the legs in tabletop and just do the upper half curling up. Good, and relax. Stretch those legs out, give them another shake. This time the ball is going to stay in our hands and we are going to do curls. Up to you whether you leave your feet on the floor or whether you take them into tabletop. Depends on how your hips are feeling. Let's go, curl up and tap. 1, 2. I don't know why I'm counting. I can hear Deb saying we don't usually. Halfway. Seconds. Good job. All right, shake it out again. Relax those arms as well. We're going to hold the ball above our head and do a reverse curl. Okay, so the ball is here. Remember, we do our reverse curl and we lift and we try and tap the ball with our feet. That's the way we're going to do it. All right, let's try and hold that ball on the floor and off we go. You want to go harder, you can do that double leg extension when you come back out as well. You don't have to. Try and keep that ball on the floor. I know it wants to lift as your upper back tightens. Pull that belly button into the floor. Make sure you're not lifting that back when you release, when you come back to tabletop, okay? 5 seconds. That went quick. Good job. All right, stretch those legs out, give them a good shake. Shake it all about. That's the one, Terry. Okay. Our last exercise before we start our cool down. Pointer, so opposite arm and leg, extending out. Off we go, alternating sides. The lower that leg goes, the harder you're going to work. Keep that ball right there in the center. Don't forget, when you extend that leg out as well, you've got shoes on, more than likely, and those shoes are a weight. So you do need to remember that as well. So as you extend out, that little bit of weight can pull through the back, especially at this point in the workout. We're nearly there, 10 seconds. Okay, wasn't quite 10 seconds. All right, so we're gonna pop the ball underneath the legs. And this is our cool down. I'm gonna double check and make sure we've done everything. Yes, we have. Okay, so we're going to take those arms out to the side. The ball is right up underneath the legs. Palms are facing the ceiling. We're going to take a deep breath out and we're going to twist over to one side. And deep breath out over to the other side. Take your time. We want to keep those shoulders anchored into the floor. Make sure that belly button is sinking back towards the spine. So as you come through the center, you can feel your lower back roll along the floor. Slow and controlled. This is our cool down. This is our chance to slow the body down, slow the heart rate down, cool down, and just have a gentle movement for the muscles to keep them warming up, keep them warm before we start to stretch them. So let's do one more of these on each side. And over. So all of these exercises are going to be slow. Take the ball away from you so your heels or your feet are on top of the ball. Arms down by your side. You can do this with straight legs, it's up to you. We're going to roll up into a bridge, lifting those hips. And then I want you to feel your spine roll back down onto the floor. Deep breath out. And breathe out again as you roll back down. Roll it up and roll it down. And again, up and back down. Good, bend your knees so you're in tabletop and the ball is under your feet. Take your right foot to the ceiling. Now this leg is going to go down the outside. Let me do the other leg. It's going to go down the side of the ball, nice and straight. Then I'm going to flex it and bring it up. So we're going to go down slowly and we're going to flex and come up quickly. And again, down and up. Once you're feeling the stretch in the back of the leg, if we stretch the foot away, so really just focus on working through the ankle, especially if you're going to cramp, okay, because we want to try and stretch the top of the foot and the shin as well. So you can't really feel a big stretch in the shin, but it is stretching when you point. All right, let's take it up and let's change feet, legs. Stretch it away, flex up, stretch it away, flex up, slowly down, up faster, up, and up, and up. I don't know how many we did, so let's do one more. I'm sure someone was counting. Good, okay. Turn your feet out, turn your knees out, roll up into your bridge again. Pop your hands on your backside for a bit of support so that we can hold it. Getting a stretch through the front of the hips and the inner thigh area. Then slowly roll yourself back down. Okay, we're gonna pick that ball up now. Pass it up to the hands. We're gonna roll up and balance at the top. Hold it there, try and balance. All right, let's roll back and sit up again. Lift the ball up nice and high. And again, bring it down as you roll. Lift the ball up nice and high. Chins on the chest when you roll so that you are a round ball, just like your fit ball. And one more. See if you can balance. Stretch out the legs and take your feet to the floor. Okay, something went in my eye. Okay, we're sitting up nice and tall. We're gonna have a big stretch now. Take the ball up. push the chest forward, tap the ball onto the toes. Sorry. Let the head just hang down between the arms. Take a deep breath in through the nose. When you breathe out, I want you to really feel your body relax. Remember, breathing out is something your body does naturally to help you relax, okay? Think about how often you flop into the couch at the end of a hard day and you sigh. You let all that air out when you do it, and that's because you're relaxing your body. So as we breathe out, we're gonna let the back relax, the neck relax, and the hips, so that we just hang a little bit further each time. Good job. All right, sitting up, let's take those legs out wide. We're gonna push forward, get those inner thighs stretching now. Again, the hands are up on top of the ball and your head down between your arms. If you drop your chin right to your chest, you should be looking at your belly button. And again, breathing in through the nose. Deep breath out through the mouth. See how slowly you can let that breath out. Once more, breathe in. And a really long breath out. All right, I want you to stay hanging in this position and roll the ball towards the right foot. Your hands are still sitting on top of the ball. You can feel a stretch, and it's a little bit different on the left and the right. So we're getting it right up through the, which leg did we go to? The left? Is that what I said? I don't know. Yeah, the opposite side. Oy, oy, oy. All right, keep hanging. Let's take ourselves over to the other leg, whichever one that might be. Hanging upside down, now the stretch is on the other side. It's going down the side of the back, down to the hip area, the lower back. We're still relaxing the neck. Come back to the center again. Take another deep breath in. Breathe out. Can you sink any further? Let's pull the ball in and sit up nice and tall. Good. All right, let's pop the ball on the right and take the right leg over. Sit up tall and turn to the right. And slowly come back around. Let's change legs. Pop the ball on the other side. Pull that knee into your chest and turn. And release. Good. Give your legs a really good shake. We're going to come up onto our knees now. Take your right foot forward, tuck your bum under, pull up nice and tall out of your hips, straightening up that spine. You feel that stretch in that back hip. And carefully changing legs. Tuck. Good. Come back onto both knees now. Bring the ball to the side. Stretch out that top leg and roll yourself over. So if you turn that bottom palm to face the ceiling, that'll actually, you can turn your shoulder that way as well. Make it a little bit easier to stretch over. Just relax that top arm, let it hang so it's a bit of a weight. And again, that'll cause a stretch down the side of your body. Just a gentle stretch, this one. Okay, bring that arm around to lift you off the ball. Pop the ball on the other side. Over the top, stretch out that leg. And again, turn the palm to face the ceiling. And over you go. Let the head rest down on that bottom arm as well so that your neck gets a gentle stretch too. Okay, bring that arm up and around in front of you. and use it to help you up. All right, we're going with our child's pose. So just come to the end of your mat and do a normal child's pose, sinking down. So when you do child's pose, because I'm getting you to drop your head and your chest down between your arms, you're actually going to find that you're getting that stretch around the shoulder blades as well as through the front of the shoulders, which I'm sure you can feel. Let's release, pull the ball in, take the knees out wide and push forward again. And pull it in. Now what I'm going to get you to do is roll down onto your tummy and just, if you can, elbows are bent, just hold onto the ball with your hands like so, okay? So I'm looking at my ball. I want to get my face away from that ball, so try and look up past the ball, past the top of the ball, squeezing that lower back there, stretching through the front of the chest as well, the tummy. Good job, all right. Up you come, best way you can. We're going to be crouched down behind the ball. So when I get myself into position for this one, I'm going to take my feet out almost to the width of my mat. You can go to the width of your mat if you like. Then you're going to drop your chin down to your chest, push that bum up to the ceiling. Okay, and we're going to push that ball away, stretching out. Cat stretch, arch the back, pull the ball in and push it away. Cat stretch, up and push it away. And again, cat stretch up and push it away. All right, from here, you're gonna roll the ball in towards the legs, let your knees pinch it, and continue to roll yourself up till you're standing nice and tall. So you're holding that ball there, just gently. Bring the arms forward, open the chest and squeeze and release, and squeeze and release, and squeeze and release. Turn the palms, take one arm up, one down and push back gently and release. Push back gently and release. Make sure you're not pushing your chest forward. So you've got to keep your spine straight when you do this. Don't arch your back. And center and arms down. Chin to the chest, chin to the ceiling. Chin to the chest, hold it there. Take your hands out, your arms out to the side, and take your hands to the back of your head. So your elbows are pointed out to the side. Really important here that you push your head back into your hands, not the other way around. So pushing the head upwards and into the hands, feeling that stretch in the back of the neck and down between the shoulder blades. Good, gently release, bring the arms out, lift the head. Look over your right shoulder now, and then around to the left. And again around to the right, and then around to the left. Hand forward. Drop the ear down, just relax. Relax the neck as you come over. Let's go up and over again. Take the arm out. This time you're going to place the hand on top of your head. Again, you push your head upwards towards the ceiling and into your hand. And you can feel that stretching into the neck. Just be really gentle with your neck, okay? Very easy to damage your neck. Let's release carefully, take it over. Other hand on top, pushing upwards just gently. Hand release and arms down. Deep breath in and out. Breathe in, shoulders up. And breathing out, drop them all the way down. Breathe in, gently open the chest and deep breath out. Once more, breathe it in and out. Breathe in, shoulders up and out. Open the chest and release. Good job. Well done, everyone. How are you feeling?